Hi dears, now we have discussed 3 modules of the electrodynamics 2 in BSc level. Today we can start with the 4th module, which is the AC circuits. So what is the difference from a AC circuit and a DC circuit? Do you all read this? We just go through that topics and read one. Okay. In an AC circuit, the EMF and current are changing both in direction and magnitude. In AC circuit, the EMF and current are changing in both direction and magnitude. In case of DC circuit, the main component is the ohmic resistance. But in AC circuit, besides the ohmic resistance, there are conductors, capacitors and inductors are also connected. Okay. So, in an ohmic resistance circuit or in a DC circuit, the resistance is ohmic resistance, which can be obtained as R is equal to VDC by I. That is the DC current which is passing through the circuit. But in case of AC circuit, we have to replace this resistance with the impedance. Impedance is normally using the letter Z, which is equal to VAC by the AC current which is passing through the AC circuit. So, the impedance is the effective opposition to the AC flow due to the different components such as resistance, inductance, capacitance, etc. In DC current, in such of a DC circuit, the Ohm's law and Kirchhoff law, etc. Such laws are enough to explain the ohmic resistance and such terms. But in case of AC circuit, we can explain this using different methods. The first method is we can explain the terms EMF and current using Ohm's law, Kirchhoff law, etc. And by using the current and voltage as a vector diagram and using J operator. These are the 3 methods we are going to discuss in this module to explain and to know about an AC circuit and its EMF and current components. So, the ohmic resistance is VDC by IDC and impedance is VAC by IAC. And what is impedance? It is the effective opposition to the AC current flow due to the different components such as inductance, capacitance, resistance, etc. which are present in the AC circuit. We have studied the term magnetic flux in the previous chapters. Then what is magnetic flux? It is the number of magnetic lines of force passing through a particular area in a direction normal to that area. Then how it can be obtained? That is, magnetic flux can be obtained as phi is equal to B dot A or BA, where A is the area of that loop or coil. And we all already studied what is the Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. When the magnetic flux linked with a coil changes, an EMF is induced in that coil and the induced EMF again opposes the further change in the magnetic flux in that coil. That is the Faraday's law and together the Lenz's law. Now we can discuss the topic, the alternating EMF induced in a coil which is rotating in a magnetic field B. To explain this, consider a rectangular coil having N turns and length L and breadth B, which is rotating with an angular velocity omega about its axis in a magnetic field B. So we know the magnetic flux linked with that coil is phi is equal to B dot A, that is BA cos theta, where theta is the angle between the direction of B and normal to the plane of the coil. Now we can consider, we know the length of the coil is L and breadth of the coil is B and A is the area of the coil which is equal to LB. And also now let us start this topic with theta is equal to 0. That is the angle between the direction of B and normal is 0. That is the B and normal is along same direction. That is theta is equal to 0. Which implies phi is equal to BA cos 0, which is equal to BA. So, we have started with the direction of B and normal are same. Now, we can rotate the coil in that magnetic field. Then the angle between the coil direction of magnetic field and the normal will be equal to theta. If the coil is rotating with an angular velocity omega at an instant of time through which the coil is rotating is t, then the angular displacement can be written as theta is equal to omega t. That is, the coil is rotating with an angular velocity omega and the time for the corresponding angular rotation is t, then theta will be equal to omega t. So, we can rewrite phi is equal to BA cos theta is equal to BA cos omega t. For n number of turns, phi can be replaced as NBA cos omega t. For n number of rectangular coils, phi is equal to NBA cos omega t. Now we know, according to Faraday's law, the induced EMF E is equal to minus d phi by dt. That's equal to minus d by dt of NBA cos omega t. In this NBA, these three quantities are invariant of this t. So, we can write E is equal to minus of NBA into omega minus of sin omega t, which is equal to NBA omega sin omega t. That is, E is equal to NBA omega sin omega t. So, we can represent this EMF induced in a rotating coil at an instant of time t as E is equal to E0 sin omega t, where E0 can be written as NBA omega, which is the maximum induced EMF, which is the maximum induced EMF in that coil. That is, E is equal to E0 sin omega t, where E0 is the maximum induced EMF in that coil. That is when sin omega t turns 1. N is the number of turns of rectangular coil. B is the magnetic field in which the coil is placed. A is the area of the coil. Omega is the angular velocity with which the coil is rotating in this magnetic field. That is, this is the magnetic field and the coil is rotating. Then the normal is also will be rotating. So, there will be an angle between the normal and the magnetic field, that is taken as theta. From using this alternating expression, alternating EMF, we can find out the graphical representation. For that, find out a table like that. For T, we have to find out theta and corresponding EMF. We know omega is equal to 2 pi by T. For time is equal to 0, it will be equal to 0. And it will be pi by 2. And here it will be pi. And here 3 pi by 2. And this will be 2 pi. Now, we know the values of this alternating EMF. Sin 0 is 0 itself. Sin pi by 2 is 1. That is E0. And this is sin pi is again 0. And sin 3 pi by 2 is again minus E0. And this is 0. Now, if we draw like this. If this is the time going on. And this is the alternating EMF. At the time t is equal to 0, the alternating EMF is also 0. Pi by 2, pi, 3 pi by 2, 2 pi. So, we can draw it as from 0 to pi by 2, it will be maximum, that is E0. And 0 to pi, it will be again 0. And 3 pi by 2, it will be maximum in the negative direction. And here it is. That is, so that we can draw like this. That is the representation of alternating current in graphic. So, from this graphical representation, we can study the alternating EMF. That is, the magnitude and direction of the EMF is changing together. So, in the first half of rotation, it is in the positive half cycle, and the next half of rotation, it is in the negative. So, when it is completed, its quarter of vibration, it is at the maximum value E0, that is the positive maximum. And during the next half rotation, that is pi to 2 pi. Pi to 2 pi, at the angle of 3 pi by 2, it attains the maximum in negative direction, that is minus of E0. In such a way, the alternating EMF is varying with respect to time in both magnitude and direction. So, that is the character of that is the property of a alternating EMF. Then, this type of EMF is known as alternating EMF, which is varying both in magnitude and direction continuously. When an alternating EMF is applied into a circuit, an alternating current is also produced. We know E is equal to E0 sin omega t, where E0 is the maximum induced EMF. Then we can write I according to Ohm's law, I is equal to E by R, which is equal to E0 sin omega t by R, which can be written as I is equal to I0 sin omega t, which is the expression for the alternating current passing through a circuit having alternating EMF. Thank you. Then that is the EMF induced in a coil rotating in a magnetic field. Now we have to study more characters of the peak value and maximum value, mean value of the alternating EMF in the next class. Thank you.